These are the Lesson 7 activities. First, we're going to find the slope of each of the following equations. And then we're going to find a coordinate of the coordinates of any point on the graph of the equation. So to start with, we have x equals -5. Anytime we have a line in the form x equals, we'll have to know that that is a vertical line, and a vertical line has an undefined slope. So any point on this line would have the value for x being -5. And any y value would be fine. You could pick any y value at all. So y is equal to 35 I'm choosing, but that could be any number. The next one is y equals -3/5 x plus 7. This is in slope-intercept form, so we're able to read the slope directly from the equation as is. So our slope is -3/5. To find any point on that line, we could let x equal 0, and then we'll see that y is 7. So we have the point 0, 7. The next equation is given us into point slope form. If you recognize this, you can read the pieces of information off. If not, you could always change it into slope-intercept form. So looking at it in point slope form, we can see the slope is 4, and the point is -1, 2. If you didn't recognize point slope form, that would be fine. You could rewrite it in slope-intercept form. D, we would want to write in slope-intercept form to get started. So we want it to be in y equals mx plus b. So we're going to use some algebra steps to get y alone. First, moving our 5x to the other side. So we have -3y equals 8 minus 5x. And now dividing both sides by -3. So we get y equals -8/3 plus 5/3 x. Once it's in slope-intercept form, we can read the slope directly off, which is 5/3. And to find any point, we could let x equal 0, and we get the point 0, -8/3. Find the equation of a line with each set of conditions. Write your final answers in slope-intercept form, if possible. No calculators here. So the first one, we're going to write it in slope-intercept form. We're given the slope and the intercept. So for the first one, we don't have to make any calculations. We have y equals -2x plus 11. In the second one, we're given 2 points, so first we need to find the slope. We're going to use our slope formula. M equals 9 minus a -11 over 3 minus -1. This will come out to be 20 over 4, which is 5. Now that we have the slope, we can find our intercept. We'll put the slope into our equation, y equals 5x plus b, and use one of the points to now solve for b. Plugging in 9 for y and 3 for x, we're able to find b. So b is equal to -6. Once we have b, we can put it all together to write our equation, y equals 5x minus 6. In the next problem, we're given a slope and a point, so we can immediately put in our slope and find b. We're going to put in our point, -5, 0, to find b. So b will equal -20. -20. In the last problem, we have a vertical line. That tells us it's going to be in the form x equals. The slope of a vertical line is undefined. So our equation is going to look like x equals the x coordinate, and the x coordinate for this point is -2. In 5, we're given a point, and we're asked to find an equation that's parallel to the line y equals -2x plus 9/2. So the important part of the equation we're given is that we're given a slope. And since we want a parallel line, we're going to use the same slope. So we need to find our new intercept. So using our slope, we have y equals -2x plus b, and putting it through the one point that we're interested in finding, intercepting, we'll get -4 equals -12 plus b. And solving for b, we get b is equal to 8. We can put that all together to have our new equation, y equals -2x plus 8. Notice the 9/2 is never used. The next one asks us to find an equation through this point 3, 4 that's perpendicular to the line they're giving us. A perpendicular line will have the opposite reciprocal for our slope. So we're going to use the slope -1/3 x plus b, and now we'll plug in our point to find b, and we have 4 is equal to -1 plus b, so b is equal to 5. Now we can put together both pieces, the slope and intercept. So we have y equals -1/3 x plus 5. The next one says through -5, 9, and perpendicular to the line x equals -3. So we've seen x equals lines. That tells us we have a vertical line. A line that's perpendicular to a vertical line is horizontal. So we want to write an equation for a horizontal line that goes through the point -5, 9. It's going to be in the form y equals, so we need the y coordinate. The next one asks us to write an equation for a line whose slope is 0. That's another way of saying that we're writing an equation for a horizontal line. And again, a horizontal line will have the form y equals, and again we'll use the x coordinate, y equals 12. Number 9 tells us we want to write an equation for a horizontal line. So we know that we're going to use the y coordinate, y equals -4. The next one says parallel to the y-axis. This is another way of saying a vertical line. So we're going to use the x coordinate and have it in the form x equals -1. In this last one, we're asked to go through the point -1, -1, and be perpendicular to the line 5x minus 6y equals 10. It'll be easier to figure out the slope of the line if we put it in slope-intercept form. So we are going to rewrite 5x minus 6y equals 10 in slope-intercept form. So we get y alone, and we have -10/6 plus 5/6x. Now that we've done this, we can see the slope is 5/6. Since we want a perpendicular line to this line, our slope will be -6/5. We can put that into our y-intercept form, y equals -6/5x plus b, and use the point that we're being asked to go through, -1, -1, to find our b. Going through the series of steps to find b, we need to work with fractions here a little bit. So we have -1 minus 6/5 equals b. Finding a common denominator, we now have b to be equal to -11/5 b equals b. Finally, putting all those steps together, we have y equals -6/5 x minus 11/5 b. And that is an equation that's perpendicular to the line given, going through the point -1, -1.